That's what I was going to say in regards to being disposable. I think, I guess I'm on the opposite end of what you're saying. I actually think men feel women are much more disposable just based on the conversations that we've had about how they say, women is practice. Like, oh, we're supposed to have a bunch of sex and do all of these things until we're ready to settle down, not understanding that in that moving in that direction that you are leaving a lot of your disposing, so to speak, leaving a track record of women who are now jaded because they may have wanted something with you, but you didn't really see them as something that you wanted to be with. In that regard, they were disposable. You were just my practice. You were just my, how Marcus said, we break up and then the way that we get over it is just, we just start having sex with a whole bunch of women. So to me, in my mind, I see that as women being regarded as something to be disposed of. So that's why I lean on the side of saying, I think men operate with women more so in that fashion than women operate with men in that fashion.
So mistaken. What I'm
real fast, too fast, because I know y'all like to please don't change the subject, but I know y'all like to change. I'm not gonna change it. And I agree with what Mistaken is saying. I mean, think about it this way: how many times? I know you talk about 304s. Let's take 304s out. Women are more selective about who they allow in their space, right? Can we say that we're a little bit more? Look, when I talk about 304s, are y'all telling me women aren't selective about what women do y'all hang around that is not selective about the people that they date?
I think now, are you talking about dating or just having sex? Because definitely men will have sex with. I hate to say this, I'm a black, but with anything for the most part.
Women. So I'm asking you guys a question because this is going to let me know what because my friends, listen, the women I'm around are more selective about who they may go on a date with somebody, but they're just not putting out for everybody who comes their way. They're more selective about who they allow in their.
So Sean, but the thing is this: when you ask the question, when you ask the question, I'm not thinking about me. I'm not putting myself in the equation.
Well, I'm talking about.
I am thinking reality. That what I see in other women.
So let me ask you a question.
Women.
So first of all, I can't say I know most women. I'm talking about the people I see in a reality, not Instagram. I don't know those women. I'm talking about people I can see.
You see the behavior.
Listen, just because a woman acts a certain way doesn't mean she's sleeping with people.
No. Okay, so let me tell you why I had the reaction I did, right? And because it's not about.
I'm gonna give you an opportunity to speak, but just let me finish my sentence. Yeah. Okay. So my whole point in saying this was, in my reality, from what I see. Okay, I understand that there are 304s. This is that type of the culture that is going on. I would like to, from what I see.
Let me do the AP face too.
If you're saying that a lot of men aren't having sex, we can't. Then there's something. Who are not? Who are they having? Who are the people having sex with? Then you understand?
Same niggas.
So
right. It is not difficult.
I don't. I look. The women that I know are selective about who they have sex with. They ain't just having sex with anybody.
Selecting the same niggas. That's what we saying.
Okay, well, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying to you is, most of the time when a woman opens her legs to you, she sees something with you, a connection. Whether she wants to say it or not, she sees she's envisioning something more than you're probably envisioning. For the most part, most women. Okay, so if she opens her legs to you for any given reason, she's seeing a future with you. She may not express that with you, but most women, most good women, see something with you. Now, it may not pan out in her favor, which means that somewhere along the line, he has decided that she is not the person that he wants to go on to the next level with. So to me, she was disposable, not him. Does that make sense?
So I hear you, Shane, but here's where I see it differently. Two fronts, right? You have the 304s giving it up to more people than they care to admit to, right? But in terms of like your average woman, there's two areas in which I disagree with you. One is when we look at a woman's dating history, it doesn't meet her standards. When we line up the men that she's dated, it's not what she says she's looking for, right? The majority of the time, they don't fit the bill of her requirements, and yet she's still dating them. So they're really not as selective as they say they are on that front.
But do you think that she's just dating them? She doesn't want a future with them?
It doesn't matter, right? If you say you want a future and you're dating just to date, you're not being as selective as you say you are.
With
right?
sex too? So you're saying these women are just having sex with men?
So, but here's the thing with sex and why they're not being selective. Let me explain the sexual part, because I talked about just the dating, so not necessarily putting out. So let me talk about the sexual part, right? What you said proves that women are not selective. If you are seeing something that's not there, you're not actually being selective. You are selling yourself the dream. You're not sitting there and being like, is this a good investment? You're looking at yourself and be like, I can make this a good investment. That's not selective. You're not choosing, you're fabricating, right? Mm-hmm. And so I think that women need to be honest when they say that they're being selective, and they're not. They're not. Their history in terms of who they're dating and who they're sleeping with, it doesn't align with what they're saying.
So, but my question to you is, who is she looking at him as being disposable? The question was being disposable.
Well, so I'm not gonna let.
I'm talking about disposing somebody, not
literally took everything I was gonna say. Everything I was gonna say.
She just really could.
Shan, when you say women are choosing men or doing all this, or they're thinking
maybe okay. So I've come to the conclusion that my group of I live in a box where the women who I know don't move like modern women move. So just take that away. I didn't realize everybody can get it. You can get it.
You do what my wife does often. You do what my wife does often. She believes that her friends, because she's a married woman, high earner, and all this, they have kids, they're gleeful with their husbands, they serve. She will come out of her mouth and say, well, this is what most Black women do, because that's what's in her circle. So that's what you're doing right now, right? But she's from Queens. She's from Jamaica, Queens, New York, the same place like around Nicki Minaj is from, 50 Cent is from. That's a very hard area. So she'll tell other people, hood girls make it all the time, but you're the one out of 99 that made it. You have to understand that it's still 99 other people that don't have those circumstances, right? So what was I going to say on this? Inaz took it when she said, just because you say they're seeing something with these men, it doesn't mean it's substantive, and it's usually superficial. They're creating that. So it might not be anything to say, I want a future and kids with him. They might be just saying, I like his bone structure and I want to get rammed to the wall by him. And as men, we're telling you, we've been approached with this before. Like, what's up? You trying to spit game? And she like, that's cool. You ready to go? That woman didn't see no future with me, right? So you and your friends, great. It's great that y'all have that going. We actually need women who still behave like that so we can classify the other women correctly. But I'm telling you, especially in today's free sex society, most of the women in the dating market, I want to preface that correctly. The women who do it the right way understand that they need to meet men organically. And if they put themselves out here like that in the dating market, they will fall victim to what every other woman is doing, right? Expecting you to have sex all early and all of that stuff. The women like you are more interested in courting through an organic process, right? Getting to know. So that's the difference. Women in the dating process are hoes. I'm just going to say it. They hoes. That's why I'm out of it.
Mistaken. So I want to add this. What I was saying about men not viewing women as disposable. So women that they deem good women, they tend to hang on to, and proof of which is they'll be in a phase where they don't want a serious relationship. They'll meet somebody that's such a good woman, and then they just get in a relationship in a time when they're not ready. They didn't want to take nobody serious, but she was so good that he could not let her pass. So we can't, like, we differentiate between just sex and an actual relationship very well. Men, we're more guarded typically than people are with their sexuality, with our emotions and who we attach ourselves to.